record. And then we go do the damn thing. Good morning. You know what? I realized that whenever I'm doing this, I like jump up and I like jump onto the couch. Like I'm, why do I do that?
Will Smith. That's what you're doing. You're doing Will Smith.
Yeah, I've been feeling like really energetic over here. Like,
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Black Girl from Eugene. I am here with MAISIE, and we're gonna get into it after, of course, the first thing I always do with my announcements. So I always want to thank my Patreons. You guys are floating me, and I'm going to announce right after this how the Patreon support that I have gotten is actually allowing me to, and Black Gold, to give a program for the school year. So anyway, thank you so much to the Patreons. You guys are floating me through. For real. $5 a month makes such a huge difference. So please, if you're not a Patreon, consider being a Patreon. It's really making this podcast just float and grow. It's patreon.com, blackgirlfromeugene_1. And the next announcement is that my nonprofit Black Gold Culture Camp, we are working and teaming up with folks from the U of O and some people from the school districts to provide some supplement work throughout the school year for parents who are homeschooling their children, the pod schooling, and some of the high schools have contacted us to see if we can get some Black history into the schools, and we're going to try to do that. So my Patreons are helping me create that program, although you probably didn't know that, but that's what y'all doing. And so keep looking out. Black Gold's going to have some announcements very soon, and it's super exciting because, yeah. Also, I want to say thank you, Vanessa Fuller. You guys don't understand. This is a sister connection. Yes. Vanessa is helping me get my website off the ground because we have been struggling with it. Like, I'm talking about Google every step of the way. Like, I didn't know what we were doing. And I had a girlfriend who was doing it, and we were struggling. And now I finally named my business for my anti-racism conversations. I finally, look, it's about our conversation. Yes. I finally just said, I'm not in denial. Let me name it. Yep, let me create the business, right? And so now we've got the business name up, and we just want to make the website up. And Vanessa has been a major component.
So great,
girl, major component to getting my my website up and going. And we are going to go do that. It'll be up probably next week, most likely. Andre Royal Jr. is redesigning my logo.
Yes.
And I want to give him a shout out. That should be done and completed by next week. We're about to come and hit this hard in the next couple of weeks, so keep your eye out. All right, MAISIE. Now I didn't even ask you. Do you want to say your last name?
Davis.
Do you want to say it? I mean, we just said
I
it.
said it.
We just said it now.
Y'all know who I am.
Because sometimes people don't want like just say my stage name. Okay, MAISIE Davis is here with me, y'all. Okay, first of all, I just want to say something real quick. We actually have never met. But she sees me and I see her all up in the streets, but never have actually met, right?
Yeah.
I even worked with your son.
I know,
No. Right? So we're like excited. We're about to have some real energy here. I am beyond thrilled that you are here.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And I'm gonna tell you like this. More than enough people say, "Whoa, why haven't you had MAISIE Davis? You late." And I was like, "Oh, okay, my bad. Let me go reach out to MAISIE." Right? So you're kind of the person right now.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody has been like, "You really need to like have her on the show. It'll be fire."
Yeah.
We've already decided that this will be a part 1 to part 6.
1 to 6. Let's go.
We had so much to talk about when we met. Like on the phone, it was like an instant 2-3. I mean, we were just la 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 la. So much in common, actually.
Yes, so much.
And then at the same time, your story is like so. Actually, I think with the intersectionality piece, it's completely overlooked.
Yep.
As a Black woman, first of all, disabled, second of all, single mom.
Yep.
I mean, all the damn things, right?
All of them.
So I'm like beyond thankful that you're here, just because you represent actually a big number of people, who are absolutely ignored.
Right.
Completely gone, right? Off the map, like they don't exist. So, and you are out here making changes and doing things for this community. I'm so happy. Okay, so I'm gonna let you take it and let me introduce yourself. Tell me what you're doing. We all know. I mean, this is.
I'm gonna get comfortable.
Okay, look. we should start. I think I need to tell people who are not visually looking at you,
Right.
like for the Patreon, you're a black woman.
Yes.
You are disabled.
Yes.
You are, like I just said, you're a single mother.
Yes.
And you've decided that activism is going to be what you're going to get into.
Yes, I'm going to get into it.
Okay, so tell me about it.
Well, so activism is where I have found who I am.
Yeah.
Activism has said, this is you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And what that looks like is caring for people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got started just pretty much jumping in a van full of random white people.
Did you?
Shout out to the Freedom Van. I love you guys.
The
yes,
Freedom
I did.
Van?
Yes.
Girl, what did you
Yes,
okay.
where the hell did
Okay, first of all.
Yes, I did.
That's a red alert for black people. You did what now?
Yes, I did. I jumped in a van with a bunch of random white people.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Right? Which I got told never to do.
Yeah.
Right, and I did. And it totally changed my life.
Now, when was that?
Oh my gosh, that seems like a year ago. That was, I want to say, day 4 after the Friday stuff.
Okay.
Where
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so pretty much that day, I said, let's go to Amazon Park because I was like, they're going to march and I'm disabled. So let's walk a little bit and then let's go home. But we were there. That's what I can do.
Right,
and
yeah.
So we go and I'm walking and I'm limping in pain and all that things. And then Elizabeth just said, hey, do you want to ride? And they had White Ally on the van. And
Oh, they said White
yes,
Ally?
they
Okay.
said
Okay,
White
that's
Ally.
better.
Right.
That's better.
Right. And so I was like, let's go. And then ever since then, that whole entire protest, I rolled with her and everybody in that van.
Yes.
And I was safe. I could protest and just yell at people how I felt.
Right.
And I was safe.
So we talked about this because you and I were talking about this the other night, and we were saying how, first of all, the ableist
Yes.
idea of how these protests are going down.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking first of all about just that everyone cannot be in this protest, in this uprising in the same way that you see all the time. We all have our roles.
Right.
I don't go to protests because I've been beaten down by police officers, so it's PTSD for me.
Right.
I now have this, like we were talking about acupuncture,
Yes.
I have that chronic issue
Right.
from where it rewired itself in the middle of the trauma.
Right.
So if I get stressed or triggered, my whole right side starts to act like it did when I first got assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting better because of acupuncture.
Right.
Girl, lights in,
Yes.
right?
Lights in.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But so I don't go because
Right.
I know better. Like I'm not useful in that space.
Right.
I'm be traumatized and triggered,
Right.
and how am I helpful? Right.
Right.
So this is what I do. I create a space for Black people and brown people
Yep.
and Indigenous people to come and talk. Let's talk about how the hell we're feeling about all of that's going on.
Yep.
That's my activism.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I create educational programs. That's my activism.
Yep.
You know, I create space. That's my. So all of us have it. But what you're talking about, being on the front lines, wanting to protest.
Yes.
And we were talking about the protesters going up like Chambers. Chambers is a road, so y'all know, for people who are listening, that goes straight uphill, okay, for like almost a mile, right?
Yeah.
And these protesters, bless their heart, decided they were going to protest at the Waldorf School. This was like a month ago or something like that.
Just up at the top of Chambers.
Right. And they were going to go up there, and that's a hike, first of all. For people who are able, they were like, I'm sure they were cussing the whole time.
They were struggling.
Struggling.
Going hard.
Right. But to your point, where is the inclusivity of that?
Right.
And should there be inclusivity in that, in terms of like what you're saying, there's an ability to bring people in.
Right.
Why not have trucks? Why not have,
exactly.
So what were you, did you say anything, or were you, how did that come, like how did you get yourself involved in that?
Well, so pretty much, again, Freedom Van totally saw that I was disabled and that I couldn't walk 3 some miles. I can't. That will kill me as a person.
Yeah.
And so they actually made a space. So every protest I rode in like the back of the van, and I had snacks and water and everything, and I would just feed people and water people and just make sure everybody was okay.
Is that how you got to do it in the food drives and stuff? Is that what I should call it? It's not really a food drive. It's called the People's Freedom Food Program.
That's
Is that
my
how
own
it
idea.
developed?
That's my own idea.
You just came up with that separately?
Yeah.
That's because you like that? Like,
yes, I like that.
Because you like that? I'm just going to do things that just help everybody,
yeah,
right?
pretty much. Everybody.
Right, yeah.
Point is to lift up the ocean, not the boat.
Hey!
Let's go. Lift up the ocean, not the boat. You hear me?
That's interesting. Okay, so now the Freedom Van are all white people. They have the white ally. Is that the same people?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do they help other people, or was it just that you guys connected and they were able to help y'all?
We just randomly hopped in their van,
right.
and I just said, hey, I'm good at organizing, so I want to do this.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of took over the whole food scene.
Well, they were like, let's listen to Black women.
Right, and let's go. Yeah.
And so you did that.
And so, pretty much that Wednesday, I got pushed. Well, no, I wanted to talk at a protest.
Right.
And I talked. Shout out Trey Stewart, I love you. He literally pushed me to do it.
Really?
Eli and Trey pushed me to do it that night.
And I just want y'all to say that sis here says that she has a stutter.
I do. You can tell the people I do. Talk to the people in my childhood.
I'm like, sis says. But the truth of it is that you've been, and I say that because to speak in front of a crowd, we don't get into being silenced.
Right. Yep.
But for you to speak in front of a crowd, the amazing shit that you are putting and healing from.
Yeah.
By doing that, it's absolutely incredible. So I'm giving you the shout out and the kudos and all the big sis ups. Like seriously, because I don't think that people understand it's more than a notion to stand in front of people and talk. When you are able to do it, just free flowing. But for you to have this that you are aware of.
Yes.
So how'd it go?
Amazing.
I know it did. That was like,
I literally just unleashed and said things that I needed to say and get off of a soul that has been just enmeshed with everything.
Wow.
And it was really activating for me, and it really was healing in the fact that I believe that finding who I am in this movement, knowing that I have this insane amount of love for people, everybody who sees me knows that I will literally stop in the middle of like what I'm doing.
Right.
That's just who I am.
Yeah.
It's almost disgusting.
No. Girl, it's beautiful.
It's beautifully disgusting.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
And so I love to just take care of people, check in on them, make sure they're okay. Because guess what? This shit's hard.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not being seen how hard it is. I mean, collective trauma, hello.
Right.
We're experiencing it every day.
And I think that's important to say because white folks act like this is a black thing. And I do these conversations all the time and they're like, how can I help black people? And the fact is that when we say collective trauma, it's black collective trauma. But truthfully, it's the entire population that is trying to deny it, that's actively in it, that is running from it, that's running towards it. All of us are being affected by this absolutely necessary transformational period.
Right.
But also, just in the relation to each other in the past is traumatic.
Right.
When white folks are nervous about black folks and black folks are nervous about white folks, that's trauma.
Oh, I'm going to call it one more. Black folks nervous around black folk. Let's go.
Black folks nervous around black folks.
Let's go.
You know, we got all of these like spectrums of just not knowing how we place in with each other. And not feeling enough comfortable just to show up and say, this is who I am, accept me how I am, and people go, I accept you for who you are. You know, let's just do what we can do over here. That has never been, it's actually like complicated in human nature, period. But it has never been seen in a large collective in terms of race relations
Right.
in this country.
That's true.
So
That's
so
true.
collectively, this country is traumatized
Yeah.
around
Collectively, this country is in shock.
and is in shock.
And I'm gonna go a step further and say most people are well, wait, I'm gonna go even a step further.
Step it out.
I'm gonna call it white people are going through a trauma as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All
Because
of us.
they are terrified at
Mhm.
what they are seeing and
Mhm.
witnessing. Because for most of us, I know me, I've never seen anything like this in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And so this shit is terrifying for me. Sorry, I cussed.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
This is terrifying for me, but I also know how white people are feeling, and they are terrified because they don't know what to do with it.
Now you're saying, now I'm going to say this because you
Let's
say
go.
you know how white people are feeling. You're mixed.
Yes, I am.
So you have a white mother.
Yes, I do.
And do you stay in touch with her and talk? I mean, is this a conversation y'all?
No.
Not at all like that?
No.
So, but you have a close proximity to whiteness, period.
Yes.
Right. So, it's interesting because I know when black folks listen to this show,
Mhm.
they don't, when we say close white proximity, closest to white proximity, it's like both of us were only black girls through all of our schooling. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm trying to think, I know, I've always been the only black girl,
Mhm.
meaning that, like, most of my friends were mixed. That if
Actually, all of them were white.
were white, I was
Right.
going to say, if I had a
Right.
black friend,
Ooh,
if I had a black friend, they were mixed.
Okay.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
Yeah.
And almost, I don't think
Yeah.
I had mixed friends. I had one in two in middle school,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm trying to think in high school, like, I think I had maybe, I moved to a lot of different high schools. So,
Right.
by the time I went to Costa Rica, and then I was in Texas, and then, so I had black people in my life by
Right.
sophomore year,
Right. Right.
But middle school, I mean, from 15 down, it was like two mixed girls. Shout out to Christina, shout out to Selena. So, right? So, and they were both mixed, and so they had their own rules,
Right.
and my
Right.
rules and their rules were different.
Right. That's true.
How we walked through the world
Mhm.
was different.
Right. And see, for me, it was opposite because I grew up with people who didn't look like
Yes.
me at all.
Yeah, because you got a nice, just so the people in the audience, chocolatey brown, okay? Complexion, I'm jealous. Yeah, beautiful.
And so growing up, I didn't see people who had the nose that I had.
Right, right.
Who had the lips that I have,
Right.
the eyes that I have, the experiences that I've had.
Mm-hmm.
And so to grow up not being able to relate to anybody because they inherently could not understand
Mm-hmm.
the experience of being black, that does something to a person.
It does something to a child.
A child.
Right.
And then when I was like, oh, there's black people, and I was like, I never saw as many black people as I have, and I was like, suddenly I don't feel so alone.
When did you see all the black folks that you felt like you were included?
You know, I had my first college professor who
In
was
college?
black when I was 21. Mark Harris. Shout out, I love you.
College? was
In
the first
college.
one? Wow. And it was Mark Harris, so it was here still.
Lane Community College.
Wow.
Yeah, so I literally did not see another black person except for media stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I also was exposed to a black blues artist,
Uh-huh.
JC Rico.
Yeah.
He lived down there. Love that man, like
Mhm.
like in that family, and those dogs. Let me tell you,
Right.
yeah, dogs were great. And so I didn't get the exposure that I needed to black people,
Mhm.
and so I have a brother.
Yeah.
He's black, but I was like, I need other experiences of people who look like me.
Right, right.
People whose hair that looks like mine, because I didn't know what to do with my hair until I was 31 years old.
Right. Oh, 31. Wow, yeah. Yeah. No, it's a long haul when you're here.
Yeah.
When you're here in Oregon and staying in Oregon and being in
My
Oregon.
whole life.
Your whole life.
My whole life.
Dang. I say that like that because I'm just like, I know I got saved by leaving. Like, I realized, yeah, and you've never left. And somehow you still like who you are, which is like short of a miracle. Like,
no, there was a lot of people rooting so I wouldn't find this part of me.
Right, right. Now, we're going to talk about the silencing by white people. We're going to talk about it. But I want to first say your program is called the People's Freedom Food Program.
Yes, so the People's Freedom Food Program is a specific model that provides free food to the local BIPOC community.
Which you are serving 30 families at this point.
Yeah, trying to. We're getting there. We're doing our damnedest to get there.
30 families? Okay, so y'all...
Shout out to my team, yo. Love you.
Right? Wow, that is actually like... Yeah. When you said 30 families, I'm like, 30 families who?
Where are you?
Where are all these 30 people at? They live here or they stay here? Like, so, I mean, you know, because sometimes I feel like I almost automatically isolate myself.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just because sometimes the trauma is like, it's a
too
lot
much.
to be out and black in Eugene. It's a lot. Right? You know what I mean? And so sometimes I feel like I don't.
Yeah.
I choose not to. So when you said 30, I got excited. I mean, even with my program, it's hard for me to reach because I'm doing certain ages, you know, so it's a little harder to reach. But that's impressive. And so tell me how many people you got working with you?
Oh, so right now we have 4.
4 people. Woo!
I know, I'm shouldering the giants, man.
We be doing it with like nothing. That's what I don't.
That's what I'm saying. Is that like this is literally black girl magic right here?
Yes.
I had an idea and I got pushed so hard by a black man that I almost fell over. Thank God.
Right.
And I'm doing it.
Yes.
I'm feeding this town because this is a need, and I honestly believe everybody needs to eat. I don't care what race, whatever. I don't care.
Right.
Food is a need that everybody should have.
It's a fundamental human right.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So that's amazing. So you got 4 people. Okay. So this is what I want y'all to understand. This is a single black mother.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, we resonate together on that point.
Yeah,
Single black women. And there's a t-shirt that says, you know, it's handled, all black women everywhere. Right?
I need that shirt, but then it should say single black mother.
Okay,
yes. Somebody make me that shirt.
Right. Black women, we be handling it. And I want to give a shout out, you know, to the fact that there was a black man who saw you and said, you're about to do this. Because in our community, we need more of that.
Yes, we do.
Now we're talking about black men, and we're talking about, like, of course, they're targeted, right?
Yes.
On several different levels.
Yes.
But we got black women who are killing the game,
right?
Who can't get ahead,
nope,
because we're women and then we're black, or it's because we're black and then we're women. However it goes, we got 2 things that are keeping us behind.
Right, and then add on being disabled.
Yes.
And being chronically ill.
That's right. They're definitely not trying to hear you.
Oh,
right?
God, no. They ain't trying to hear me.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And here you are. And so this man says, no. You about to be in front, holler from the rooftop.
Yep.
What you got going on. And here you are.
Yep.
Doing it in a way you never thought that you would be doing it at all. So that's I mean, we need each other.
Yes, we do.
We need each other. We need to see each other's strengths and
we
say, you know what, maybe not me, but definitely you.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Maybe not me, but you. Yes,
right?
And be willing to push that.
That's right.
Yes.
There's plenty of folks here that we could be teaming up. Black men,
so
black
much.
women.
Oh my goodness. There
could
be so much teamwork being done.
Yes.
So much teamwork.
Yeah.
And it would be amazing.
Right. And we have a few people who will. Yeah. But, you know, you having 4 people and all that, me having 3 people doing it, why are we we're doing it. Like, look, we're doing it.
We doing it. Let's call it.
But I'm just saying, like, this is how it's being created. Right. And I need people to understand the heart love that goes into this kind of stuff. When you got 4 people working with you, you got 3 people working with you, this is more than a labor of love. Yeah. You know, this is taking hours of our time and day and energy and mind work, body work, all of this. Yeah. All of this, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it because this passion that we have comes from a place real deep for both of us.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I think I've talked about it a couple different times, and I'm going to be featured on somebody on Eugene's podcast? Oh, what is it called? City of Eugene podcast? I don't know. Ooh, I need to think about that. Oh my god, what is it called? Anyway, I need to think about that. But she's gonna feature me talking about black girl from Eugene, and like how did I get to this point?
Right.
And I always tell people where I came from. The book I'm writing is gonna talk about where I came from. It's gonna be exactly what we're talking about right now.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about the pain of being silenced by white people that brought two black women who overcame. All kinds of things that came through.
Right.
Right? The intersectionality of my life is not the same as yours.
Right.
Right? It's deep. Your intersectionality runs deep. Mine runs deep. Right? But it's something that every single piece you have to overcome. And not even overcome because you're still managing.
Right.
All of it. But this is something coming from real deep inner healing.
Yes.
From being silenced by white people.
Yep.
In our community, in our families, I don't have white folks in my family directly. I know y'all out there, clearly. As I rub my light skin, like, clearly y'all out there. But I don't know. It ain't in my direct family line, right? And then we have, our community, our air quote, friends. I just had a whole thing on Facebook with some people from Cottage Grove that I went to school with. And like it's kind of like, it's one of those things like, why am I friends with these people I went to school with? And I'm like, why did I do that? This is a place of real trauma for me. Yep. But I have some real beautiful connections that lasted years. Right?
That's true.
Is that Stockholm, it's weird, right?
It's bizarre.
It's bizarre. And so I think for us coming from a place like that and creating what we've created needs to be spoken on.
Yes,
right?
It does.
Now were you in Cottage Grove? Like, I don't think we stayed this long. I stayed 3 years and I was out.
I moved to Cottage Grove, I want to say I was born in 83, so 1985, 86.
So you were baby.
Baby.
Okay.
Baby. And so, Cottage Grove is white.
Yeah.
Especially.
And racist.
Call it.
Look. White and racist. Okay.
And so that's where my mom had her support system. And so that's where
you ended. Yeah.
That's where I ended up.
Yeah.
And so I grew up in Cottage Grove, where it was a really hard time. Of course, I couldn't talk about it because white people.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Where were you surrounded to anyone to talk to about that?
There was no one to talk to about that. Like, I had a couple friends that were Hispanic.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay.
But black people didn't really have people to talk to about that specific experiences.
Yeah.
And so I grew up with white people, so I know how to navigate white people.
Right.
And that is a skill, let me tell you.
It's a skill that some people learn through books and through but then when you have a lived experience, which is a lived experience through anything, is more valuable than any academic prowess about it. Fight me. That's how I feel. Right?
Fight me about it.
Fight me about it, because that's how I feel. If you were in it and lived in it, and then you can put some book smarts on top of it, boom, you got it. Boom. Right? But, so, through your experience, you feel like that's how you can connect to white folks the way they think, because you know how they think. You know how they want. You know what they want. You know what they're expecting.
Yep. I know how to act. Yes. I know how to talk.
Yeah.
I know how to make me small.
Right.
Because I am a force to be reckoned with, let's just say it.
Period. Girl, look, you're a black woman. What can we say?
I know, let's go, right?
What can we say?
Right. And so now that I have been able to walk in this power, it's terrifying because I've never been allowed to walk in this power. And now I am. And honestly, what that took was just speaking. Like that first Wednesday night, it absolutely unleashed a beast.
That is amazing.
Like, just unleashed it to the point that I don't stutter very much anymore.
It unleashed a beauty.
Yes,
Okay.
call it.
It
Unleash
did not
the queen.
that's what it leads.
Unleash the
That's
queen.
right. That's right. That's right. The narrative, girl. The narrative is real. You know what I'm saying?
There's a strong one here.
Yeah.
There's a strong narrative that needs to be heard and seen.
Yes. So when I was in Cottage Grove, I was only from 6th grade to 8th grade.
Right.
Thank God. Right? Like, I was like, woo.
Yeah.
And then we moved to Central America. So it was like, but it was, I think I physically fought almost every day. Like, because that's who I am.
See, you know?
Because that's who I am.
Well,
I'm going to swing on you.
I didn't fight every day.
Yeah.
But then I had friends that kind of saw that I was being smashed and said, like, nope.
Yeah.
And they were like, you need to start standing up.
Wow, so you have some allies with you?
I had some allies.
Okay.
I will say that.
Yes.
I had some allies
That's
there
beautiful.
that literally have stepped up now and just been powerhouses with me.
Now, was that when you were, you stayed in contact with these folks?
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
Yes.
because how could you not, right?
Well,
Like,
I mean, life happens, but if a person does me well,
yeah, for life, right?
for life.
Right. That's right.
But I'm going to amend that and say, you have to do me well and acknowledge and value my blackness.
Okay, so I don't know how many podcasts you've worked back.
Nothing.
But like, I have a whole podcast based on can black and white folks be authentic friends? And I said, yes, but.
Facts.
And the yes, but was this. Exactly what you're saying.
That I have white friends.
Yeah.
That I love to death.
Yeah.
Y'all know who you are. But I also know they cannot ever understand me being black. They cannot.
Yeah.
And that is a huge part of me.
Yeah.
And if a person can't understand that, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's a really hard thing to
Navigate
with
and
navigate.
yeah.
Because I'm like, this is me.
Right.
This powerhouse is like everything I'm operating in power-wise is me and all of our ancestors. They are literally living this dream right now.
Look, I just wrote that in a newspaper.
Yes!
article.
Black Girl Magic right here.
I just wrote that in the Eugene Weekly. I literally
Yes,
wrote those
Black Girl
words.
Magic right here.
Right?
Yes, let's go.
Because that's real talk.
It is real talk. And the fact that I have never been a grassroots organizer before. I'm a mental health person.
Yeah.
I like messing with people's brains.
Right.
I've never done this, but I'm really good at it. And I'm being guided by everybody who did this previously.
Yes. Yes, you are.
And it's an amazing feeling because these things that I am doing will ground this town.
Yes.
They will ground this town.
So now you're in Eugene police commissioner.
Girl, call it. Let's go.
Like, is that what that is?
Yeah.
It? So now you're there.
Now I'm there.
You're at that table.
Let's go.
Girl, how you feeling? How you feeling?
I know.
See, because we talked about this before we went on, we went live, and I said, being at the table and luckily you won't be the only black person there.
Facts.
Right? Because that's a big deal.
Yep.
But like I said, being in this arena is a different tank of sharks, right?
Is.
So I will be there for you if you need any kind of assistance with that, because I've been doing it for 20 years with those tanks, like those sharks, right? The professional,
right?
At medical, social. I'm like trying to think of all the things I've done. It's like a lot, right?
Right.
But we need backup.
Yes, we do.
It's not as easy as to be like, oh yeah, black person at the table.
Nope.
This is a lot that you have overcome to be here and be confident in the position in which you have acquired and earned, right?
Right.
So now the confidence of the people behind you, right?
I would hope so.
Oh yeah.
Cause damn,
right?
Shit's heavy.
It's heavy. I mean, and I think that it's important for us to talk about that because, girl, I'm supposed to say something now. I'm like, let me think about how I'm gonna say this. It's important because people, and you'll see once you get there, that you cannot get there and say, because I'm black, we don't do this and this, we're gonna change. There's a whole structure that is against black people.
Yep.
And for the growth of black people.
Yep.
And the healing of black people. And definitely the uprising of black people are structurally built historically against it.
Let's go.
So it doesn't matter if there's brown people at the table, if you are not going to listen.
Call it. Let's go.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so the people behind you, who like me and all the community who is listening to you and looking at you and going, yeah, Maisy, make some change. Do it. Get out there, speak. Look, you're gonna do the best that you can.
But you gotta get behind me first.
We are behind you. I want people who are behind you to understand that just because she's there doesn't mean all of a sudden everything changes. There's a whole level of structural crap that you're about to be up against.
Yep.
And so people on the outside, it goes back to what we were talking about before, the roles. We need white folks to make sure that Maisy is surrounded by people who will hear her. And as she is talking, we have to make sure those same white people who know how this system works can open up gateway for her. Because just putting her name and her face at this table do not set my girl up to just be a black face at the table. Because you're going to work from your heart space.
Damn right I am.
So we need to make sure that people who are with her and around her and who are supporting her from the outside of the commission to the inside of the commission to all around that scenario, the police, everything, that we are protecting our sis. It's important.
Yes.
You
I
know?
completely agree.
It's important. And I think that people got to understand it's not over just because she's at the table.
No.
It's not over.
It is just getting started that I am there.
Yes.
And I'm going to call it real hard right now. My seat is at a white table. So just approaching that table, saying, here I am as a person, because you're right, I am working from my soul. Everything that I'm doing comes from my soul. It is nothing artificial about it.
That's right.
And so if I'm stepping to that table, then I need to make sure that I am heard and that I am seen for what I am doing and trying to do, and not be that token. Do you hear me, EBD?
Right.
You are not going to make me a token in this.
That's right. That's right. And that you will be, that's exactly where they will try to go. And that's my whole point.
Exactly.
Is that this is not a fight that you can do on your own.
Nope, I can't do this alone. I can't. I've been doing this alone for a long time.
It takes the whole community that's behind you to make sure that you're okay at that table.
Yes, it does.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you will be there by yourself, and you'll be there with that one other person who they chose. But
three.
Okay. Ooh, that's great.
We have 4. We got 4.
Oh, because Dallas too, right?
Yeah. So we have Dallas, and then we have me, and then we have Chantel, and then we have Bonnie Garcia.
I didn't know Bonnie Garcia.
Yes, I think so.
I didn't know that. That's cool. That's great.
Right.
That's
so
great.
There's 4.
All of you need to make sure y'all work together.
Right.
And keep each other okay.
And have each other's backs.
Have each other. It's got to be that AOC dream team type stuff.
Yes.
It has to be.
Yes.
It has to be. That's why they did what they did.
Yeah.
You know,
it has to be us all coming together
as a joint force.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And
so they know that they can't put one against the other.
No, they cannot.
And that you guys got each other's back.
Yep.
I mean, this is coming from, I'm talking from experience.
Yep.
Like, it's got to be solid. You guys don't have nothing that's questionable amongst each others.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Right. It has to be solid.
Solid. I am excited for you. No matter what, I'm always worried when black folks are up. I'm always like, okay, I got you. You know what I mean? Because it comes from that place of, like, in Cottage Grove, or before, because I lived here before that, Eugene.
Right.
And there's a question going around Facebook is, have you ever had a black teacher? Or when did you have a black teacher? Or a black male teacher?
21.
Now, my first black male teacher was in Houston. I had black teachers in Houston I had a POC teacher here, Miss Fuji. She's out there. Shout out. She actually recognized me, girl, when I was like 22.
Yes,
she was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Miss Fuji!" Like, it was crazy.
Oh my god, girl, it's so hard. People recognize me from Cottage Grove, and I was like, "Is it because I was the only black girl?"
Girl, yeah, right? Okay. Look, they probably thought it was me or you. They don't know. They're like, "Wait, I thought she moved. No, she's back." Like, oh Lord. But Miss Fuji was my first Asian. Like, she was was my first person of color. That was second grade. I didn't have anybody else until high school, which was in Texas, and I had plenty. I had plenty. But it's the silencing.
Yeah.
It's what we're overcoming to be, like I said, like you said, the beast or the beauty that has come out of us. Where it's coming from is from a place of straight up trauma.
Yep.
And it's being healed.
Yes, it is.
By seeing ourselves and saying, you know what? I've been hearing that I'm not valuable, that my worth, my value as a woman, as a black woman, is below anything else around it. And trust me, that is not by nuance. That is by verbal words. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I got it mostly nuanced in Eugene, but directly in Cottage Grove.
Yes.
And you lived in Cottage Grove a majority of your young life.
I was in Cottage Grove until I was 18, and then a week later. And then a week later, I was out.
So, you had it directly told to you.
Yes.
Nuanced was probably easier and welcomed versus.
Let's just put it this way: it was much easier to be made fun of than it was like a direct type of "I'm not good enough."
That's exactly right. It was much easier. Now listen to what we're saying, you guys. Listen to black women right now talking about it was much easier when I got spit on than to be told I'm not smart enough.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we're having to negotiate the difference between the two, like, and decide what value that has and how we're going to move through it.
Yep.
And I'm talking. These are two girls who are less than 13, less than 15, right? I mean, I definitely had experiences. I was spit on for the first time in 4th grade here in Eugene.
Oh, do we really want to unpack that?
By grown men.
First time I got spit on, I was 6.
You were 6.
I was 6, and I was standing in front of a bus stop.
Me too.
Oh, what is it with bus stops and white people?
Girl, I was in 4th grade going to go see some white girlfriends of mine, and I was catching the bus because back then kids did that when we were young, right? By ourselves, cross town, like it was fine.
Because we were right.
Yeah.
We weren't gonna be murdered then.
No, just spit on. You know what I'm saying? Like just spit on, as in as if that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was in the 4th grade. You were 6 years old, huh? Yeah. See, so that's what I don't think most people get. Even black folks who don't live here, the proximity, they're like, why would you stay there? They don't get it. They're like, why would you be here? And it's not that by choice. These are 2 children.
Right.
Now, the reason my parents were here were for other reasons that were not pertaining to my experience. They were on some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, in your parent, what made sense is that's where her community was. She was a white woman.
Yep.
As a single woman, we would go where our community is.
She would go where her family was. That's
it.
Right. And so, I didn't have any control over that. And so it was pretty difficult. Right.
So what I'm trying to surmise here is that you've got black women who were raised in this kind of hatred, like that book, The Hate You Give, like just the kind of hatred that is given, and yet literally the way that we have had to grow out of it and still be kind. I think that's the part that white folks don't get. White folks don't understand why we're still nice.
I don't want to be nice anymore, though.
But that's not. You know what, though? What you're doing is kind.
I know.
It's kind. I
know it is.
You see
and y'all lucky. You hear me? Y'all lucky that I am this kind right now. I'm
just saying. Y'all luck. Look.
Yeah.
Y'all play a lotto. She said,
what did you get me on?
She said, okay. You on that luck stream right now. That's hilarious. But I mean, it's real. It's real talk.
It's real. It's
right?
Real.
Because we, like you said, we know how to be small. But see, the truth of it is that what we really have learned, I think for me, is that I have learned now how to be myself and still talk to white folks and put them in their place in a way which I can then deal with them versus them dealing with, like me lining up so that they can tell me what to do.
Right. I'm going to line them up.
I can line them up now. In a way that's not at all aggressive, mean,
no,
revengeful, because I don't have that in my heart.
But of course,
this was done to us.
The labels are there, though.
This was done to us, though.
It was.
We talked about colorism,
yes,
and we talked about something that a leader in the community said about house Negroes and field Negroes, and I said I was irritated because the narrative is white supremacy, even between two black folks.
Right.
If we were going to talk about the long-standing value system of light skin versus dark skin,
right,
that we're just upholding white supremacy by believing that anybody else's torture was worse or better than the others. We were all being tortured.
No, we were all there.
Right.
We were all there.
In different capacities, being tortured.
But we were in, like, the same struggle.
Right. So right now, I see you, and I'm looking at when you're saying, like, the intersectionality of it, and I'm thinking, do disabled folks stand behind you? I'm asking, do they know? Because you're speaking for everyone.
I know. And that's why protesting, it was so important. Because I needed people to see that they could do this too.
Right.
They could be out there. They could be doing it too.
Right.
But, unfortunately, because protesting is ableist, and yes, I'm going to call it.
It is. Do it.
It is so ableist.
Right.
That people with disabilities feel they are left out because they are not seen on just how to do it.
Right.
Prime example. Yes, Freedom Van, amazing.
Yeah.
We picked up people, we gave people rides. That's what we do.
Right.
But as a whole, there needs to be like 20 cars full of people who are disabled.
Girl, one of my tightest allies at the country fair, I said this a couple of weeks ago, that I'm on the diversity committee. I don't know why, but I'm there. It's a horrible thing, and one of my best allies there is a disabled woman who shares your story. She's white, but she's like, I would love to be there.
But
there ain't no space for me there.
You get involved when people are marching up chambers. You don't. I mean, that night I was writing in the back of the van, like cheering people on, because it was hard.
Right.
And so for me, I want to bring attention to the fact that disabled black people are being left out.
Right. I mean, I say the people of color, black women, black people, I always say this, lowest common denominator.
Yep.
Meaning that if you are following a black disabled, black lesbian, black queer, black trans, black, I'm trying to think of all of the things.
All the things.
All of the
We're
things.
We're going to encapsulate it with all the things.
Black folks are there.
Yep.
So if you follow, you support black anything that's you are going to be you're going to be helping everyone else above it.
Yep.
If you start at indigenous, you're skipping black.
Yep.
You have got to start at black because black is the lowest common denominator. It all comes from us, right? And we are in every single facet of life.
That's true.
So disabled folks, I'm looking at, like, you have this intersectionality. You should have all this support.
I should.
And for me, I like when I was talking about the white supremacist idea with the colorism and all that. It's like to delegate who can support how.
Yep.
Doesn't make sense. And I'm saying what you're doing is you're literally covering several different aspects of life in Eugene, right?
Yep.
Which means you should be prime candidate for all of the support. Honestly.
You would think.
Right? Disabled folks feel like there's not a voice out there for them. Is it because they don't know about you, or is it because you're black?
You know.
And I know there's other disabled people doing shit. You know what I mean? I know there are. They're not in the front.
Right. They're not at the front.
And here you are coming. We're seeing you. You're police commissioner. You know the program, Freedom Food Program, People's Freedom Food Program. All that. Why aren't you like As one person.
And honestly, I honestly think that it is because of the strong black woman narrative.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I'm like, yeah.
Because the thing is that I have been told my whole life, because I grew up in white capitalistic society, pull yourself up by bootstraps. How do white people do that? Because I ain't that flexible. But wait, they don't. Okay. Right. And so I am saying that I shouldn't have to do all of this alone, but previously when I have spoke out about things I struggle with, everybody just wanted to give me a damn cookie. I don't need a cookie. I need support.
Right.
I need support in childcare, house cleaning, errands done,
body work. We were talking about that. Keep you going. Yes.
Like all of these things. So I still am able to feed these people, be there for my community, which I'm going to just say it, I don't have to be, but I want to be.
Right. That's
I
right.
want to be because I see a need here.
That's right.
Food is a need, and I see it, so I want to do something about it.
It's a basic human right. And that, girl, I love what you just said. White folks do not pull themselves up by the bootstraps.
They don't.
They have wealth.
Yep.
They have historical wealth.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They have access and they have resources.
So much access and so many resources.
That's right. That's right. So people have got to understand, we're all struggling. Yeah, we are all struggling from different places.
Yeah, from totally different places.
Right? And totally different ability to overcome what we're in the middle of.
Right.
Because some of us will recover because we've got historical wealth and ability and access, and they will be hiring you first.
Right.
Or they will be giving you the loans first. Or they will be giving you the grants first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So we can't pretend like we're with that equality and equity. No. That equity is there, because that's the idea. Everyone's like equality. Equality is not it.
No,
it's equity.
It's equity. It's same.
Right. People have to be. Black folks need to be lifted up in a stronger motion because we're further down.
Exactly.
On every aspect of it.
Right. On every single aspect.
I love that you are here doing the damn thing. You know, because the truth of it is that you are representing more than just black women. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
You're representing just a load of things that just are completely, what is the word I'm looking for? It's like this idea that it's just this like dismissiveness. They'll be fine. Well, I don't even know what you're even thinking about.
I don't even think about they'll be fine. What I see is that, and I just wrote a Facebook post about how people see me have immense power right now, which is I should. I'm a very powerful person.
Right.
But people do not see what I deal within that power role.
Right.
Because people just want to give me a cookie for just being so strong, and I'm like,
girl, that's so strong. That's so strong. Yeah.
That's why I'm telling people, don't tell me that I am strong. You want to know why? Because that it inherently means I cannot say I'm struggling.
Right. Especially as a black woman.
Yes.
Because they label like it's a compliment.
Yeah.
They label it on us.
No.
But then that means that we can't have a vulnerability. And as soon as we do, we're hung up for it.
We're hung for the vulnerability.
Yes.
Like, how dare you?
Like as if it's not a human person here. Like,
right.
We're very human, you know?
Totally
like you said, you woke up this morning, today was a good day.
Good day, I'm here and I'm not in pain, so that's good.
Good day, right?
Good day.
I mean, my mother has arthritis, and she's in constant pain too.
Right.
I don't know how she's pleasant. Like, I don't know how. I don't know how she's pleasant.
I want to know.
Right? Like, I think we should, like, understand that.
Yep.
Black women are up here. Understand what we talked about, the how we got to hear our voice out loud. When we finally got enough strength to raise our hand from the back of the classroom and say, I'm sorry, I don't want to sit in the back anymore.
Right.
Right? And then go, I'm sorry, Aisha, what?
Right. Who are you again?
I don't want to sit in the back anymore. When I say that, I'm the only person by myself doing that work for me.
Yep, saying that. Yep.
Saying that for me.
Yep.
In the same way, understand when you see someone working in a place, a woman of color, a man of color, when we're up there on the stage talking about our righteousness, you're feeding the masses, you know what I mean? I'm creating programs, you know?
Right.
We're coming from a place of healing.
Yep.
Healing, real trauma.
Yep.
You know, it's coming, our civic duty is to our people.
Yep.
Because we recognize that if it's not by us, we won't get it.
Nope. And if I don't feed them,
we have to be the people we didn't have.
Call it, let's go.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Girl, and look, and that's hello, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
We have to be the people we didn't have.
Yep, yep.
That's heavy.
Yeah, heavy.
You know what I mean?
So heavy.
And we out here doing it with beauty and grace.
Yep.
So please understand that, like, the compliments don't really do a whole lot when you're coming from a place of healing.
Yep.
When we're out here trying to do what we do.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So the truth of it is that the best compliment is access.
Yeah. Give me access.
Right.
Provide me with things I need so I'm able to keep doing everything I'm doing.
Because white folks are benefiting from this. They're benefiting from us.
So
whenever black folks are okay, white folks do well.
Do well. Yep. Let's go.
You know what I mean? And
Sure.
it's not for them.
It's not for them.
We're trying to stay well. We're trying to lift each other up.
Yeah.
You know? And white folks want to be so helpful right now. Don't get in the way. Open up the access.
Don't get in the way. Call it.
Don't open up the access.
Mm-hmm.
Be allies, which means you listen to black folks and you do what we need you to do. And it may feel strange. But if that's what you want to help and that's how they want to be with us, that's how we have to be able to explain it. You know? Black women are moving fast and hard.
Fast and hard.
Right? Because we ain't got time.
I don't have time to sit around right now.
We don't have time.
I don't have time to make sure other people are okay. I don't wait to know. I just kind of jump in and just make sure people are okay.
Right.
I always have.
If you need some fresh produce, come to MAISIE.
Call me.
Yes.
Do you need a space to just vent? Call me.
Yeah.
Like, all of those things, because that's inherently what I need.
Right. Right. This is, girl. Say it again. It's coming from a cyclical space.
Yes.
It's coming from I'm giving because I didn't have it. They're bringing it back because they don't have it. This is how black folks work, though.
We're
community. It's community.
It is communal. It is not this individualistic society. Honestly, I'm sick of living in a box. Literally, I'm sick of living in a house.
Yeah.
I want to live with like 7 other people, on a piece of land, and just we have people right there who just know what we need, know what we want, type of thing, because they take that time. I mean, prime example, shout out to every single mom online. So I have this amazing group, like, of single moms that I've never met in person. We FaceTime, chatted, all that type of stuff. Well, we've been friends for, Cameron, 7, so about 10 years now.
Okay.
And we have a dream of buying a piece of land and just raising our kids there.
Oh, wow.
With each other. Because all of our kids are white and mixed.
Interesting.
And and so that's pretty much been our thing, but of course that costs thousands and millions of dollars that single parents don't have.
Yeah, girl, but there's we need to talk.
Yeah, we need to
people
talk,
who are listening. If you have information, share. That's the kind of stuff that helps.
Yep. Share the
that's
information.
access. That's resources. Yep. I know there's people who can help you because it doesn't cost that much.
Right.
It doesn't. No, there's a way to do that. There's a way to do that. There's loans. There's ways to do that. People out here can help you get your dream.
Okay.
That's the whole thing that we're all talking about. We got to be able to say it out loud.
Say it out loud. Well, that's one. I want a collective communal space.
That's a safe space for you and for children that you're raising.
Exactly.
Right. That's what you want, is a safe space that you have control over. with people you choose to be in your life.
Exactly.
That's human dignity. You know what I mean?
It's such a novel concept, huh?
It's not a lot. It's human dignity.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
We all do. Right?
And so it's just trying to find Black people right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm going to be real honest, like, I now seek out Black people because I don't have to explain why I'm so angry right now.
Right.
Why I'm in tears because white tears happened in my house.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to reach people like me. Right.
Right.
And if I can be that bridge, then let me be that bridge.
That's beautiful. I mean, you know it is, because it's something that, again, we've had to create for ourselves.
Yep.
And we've had to make it be where it is. And I think this is a perfect time of transformation for the United States, where we are in a space where Black folks are finally being heard by the masses, whether or not they're pissed, white folks are pissed about it, or white folks are happy about it, or white folks are confused and don't know which way to go about it. You know, but they know that they're having some moral dilemmas about some things. I think that is, we're right in this right spot.
Right, and the thing is that I'm gonna just say it, like, I notice that the most change that I have been able to create and stimulate is just by telling people my story.
It's true. People, you know,
and it's not yelling at people. It's not anything. It's just me taking that time. Again, time that I shouldn't have to take, but I'm gonna do it. To just explain, there is a person under this being Black.
Right.
There is a person here that wants to be able to make sure people are okay. People that I don't even know.
Girl, you said under this being Black. That's for real.
Let's go.
Right? Under this being Black.
Under being Black, there's a person.
Right? I mean, girl, look. You started a whole new podcast. Okay?
Yes, this is why 6 parts we go with.
That's what I'm saying, because oh my God. Like, I literally was just talking about this yesterday. Like, a whole nother podcast about the commodity of Blackness and the human rights. I talk about it with my anti-racism conversations almost every single time I have a conversation. That if you're referring to Black people as other, you're commodifying, like as if we're a commodity. That's Blackness. There's a person here. Like, I mean, the skin that's me.
That's me. Still here. Hey.
Right. I'm Black, and that is a person, a human being I'm in this. You know what I mean? And being Black is hard.
It is very hard.
But it ain't different than being human.
Nope.
You know what I mean? There's no difference. We are human.
Yep. Totally
and so for us to, oh Lord. Okay, yeah. So we didn't hit the pieces, girl. We didn't hit it. I'm definitely having you back.
Yes.
We got some real things to talk about. I'm so glad you came.
I know. I'm so glad.
I'm so happy.
Wow.
Shout out to Serena for reminding me again. She's
Serena,
like,
I love you.
Right? She's like, when you gonna do that? I'm like, yes, that's right. I was gonna call Macy. She was behind me on it, right? Yes. And that's what that's what I need. I need people to be like, did you forget? Yes, I did.
Again, Black people pushing Black people to just amplify our voices.
It's to recognize what we're up against.
Yeah.
And to see each other. Because Serena, when she told me that, she knew I wanted you on the show. I've been crazy busy, and she was literally like, Aisha, remember about it? Yes, thank you. Like, it was like, thank you. You know, I need people who are in our corner.
Yes.
It's like, what I wanted to say, I'm jumping, but what I wanted to say was, with being able to, with disabled folks not recognizing you, or other disabled people in the movement who are doing work and creating programs and substance and getting out there, what I've noticed is that white folks don't know, because under the skin that we are in, right? White folks don't know that when Black people do things, it's not actually excluding white people. It's true.
It is so not.
It's true.
Right.
We didn't say Black only.
No,
we're prioritizing Black people.
Yep.
But to their credit, there are black spaces that you should not go in.
Right.
Because that's for our safety and for our respite.
Our own mental health.
Our own mental health. But when we're creating programs and we didn't say black only. We didn't say we just want money and leave. I mean, there's that too. But I'm saying people who are looking at you as in a support, as a person who is disabled, who's out there in front of this movement, as representative of that intersectionality. White disabled folks should have your sticker too. You know what I mean? Like they should have understanding that you're representing
and a lot of them do.
them, right?
A lot of them do.
Okay, good.
But always need more because come on.
Good. So you're getting support from the community?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, yes.
Good.
I am. I have a lot of people around, but I can always use more because it's always getting bigger.
I want everybody that you represent to know your name.
I agree.
That is my whole point.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I want them to be like, yeah, MAISIE out there doing the damn thing. Like that's what I want.
Right.
That you become, for everybody that you represent, that you become someone who they're like behind.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And not only for the perks of being known, but because you need to know that you are valuable to all of these people.
That's right.
You know what I mean? In the community in which you were raised, who told you were not valuable the whole time.
Right. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It was a lie. You know what I'm saying? It was a lie.
Such a lie.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
And now we decided we're not doing that lie anymore. And everyone who believes in it needs to speak it out loud.
Yep.
If two people know how hard it is to speak it out loud, it's me and you.
Yes.
But look at us doing it now.
That's true.
Which means you can do it too. Any of these people have the heart to say, no, I believe in MAISIE. I believe in MAISIE because she's black.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like someone asked me the other day, can I wear a shirt like my shirt today?
I still want that shirt.
Girl, Issa Rae.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love her.
You know what? I'll tell you the online store I got this from. Because sometimes they'd be a little spendy, but I wait till the sales.
Well, I have
sales.
Don't worry, I have a girl that buys me the shirts I want. What?
Print it. I was gonna say you can print this because this
That's
is not
true.
TM. This is not TM. This is just a quote. You can just print it.
Oh,
So anyway, it says that's what I'm gonna
yeah.
Girl, look at how I
did this.
Okay, so I'm rooting for everybody black. And
I want mine saying I'm rooting for everybody black and disabled.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do it. Now, Issa Rae said this when she was on the red carpet.
And I'll be like, MAISIE Davis.
Right? That's right. So Issa Rae was on the red carpet, and they're like, well, who are you when she put that win? She goes, I'm waiting for everybody black. And she just laughed.
Yeah.
Girl, it was hilarious. It was so funny. So that's where that's where the quote came from. But the thing is that white folks act like they can't wear this. You can wear this, too.
You can wear that?
Right.
This is not black people.
This is supporting black people.
Root for us. Come on. It's okay.
Human rights.
Yeah.
There's nothing different.
No.
And that barrier is real of not understanding that like you can be pro-black without being anti-white.
Oh my God, I have been called out like anti-white for a while because I'm like black.
Right.
And I was like, first of all, I'm blackly black. Second,
why would I not root for myself?
Right.
What are you talking about right now?
And second of all, I'm not excluding white people at all.
No.
I'm just highlighting that me as a black person matters.
Right.
And I was raised that it didn't.
All my girls who call themselves my girls who are white would be wearing this shirt.
Yes.
Honestly, like why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why
they
wouldn't
right here with me, they're not rooting me on?
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Wear it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I said this yesterday in a conversation I was having. Be invested in your black folks, like for real. Like
be really invested.
Be invested. You know what I mean? That shows your friendship. That shows your connection. That shows that you recognize black people and black struggle as a human struggle.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Be invested.
Yeah. But how does investment look?
Oh, I mean, it could, to me, because, I mean, when you're willing to wear a shirt that says "I root for everybody black" all around all your white friends, you're gonna start some conversations that they probably don't really want to have.
Yeah, that's true.
That to me, you're investing some time and some struggle.
Yeah.
I appreciate that type of investment, honestly.
Yep.
I appreciate the Patreon investment.
Yep.
I appreciate the buying my program investment.
Yep.
I appreciate the bringing your children to my programs investment.
Yep.
I appreciate the shout outs, hellos, I love your article investment. I love all the investment that they can give.
Right.
The access investment.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
The hey, I need some help with my this and that, and the people show up, I'll volunteer investment. Like, I'm for it all.
Yes.
But I'm just not for the person who's just riding silently next to me. No. You know, I'm not for that.
Nope. If you're silent, I don't know much time.
What kind of investment do you want?
I want direct action investment.
Go, girl.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So I am huge on mutual aid right now.
Yes.
Well, and I always have been. And I can say that because for me, I never had the support. Prime example, I'm a part of another organization on the leadership team, and so I had a big event that I did. And so during that time, I had people pretty much clean my house. And all of those things. And so I'm still able to do that work and come home, and I was like, I can breathe in my house.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what it takes.
Yeah.
So it's just the direct action. That's, again, childcare, cleaning my house, gift cards for food, because half time I'm in so much pain that I can't even cook.
Right.
Like, all of those things to ensure I stay alive and healthy.
Yeah.
So I'm able to keep doing something I enjoy doing.
Yeah. I'm going to help you set that account up.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm going to help you out. Because
we
need to get you some direct assistance that you can decide and that you can get and do with what you want.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So, and it's not going to be hard to do.
Okay.
And as soon as we get the link up, then I will shout it out here, and so people can look you up, and you just share it on your Facebook page, so people know, and they can support you.
Yes.
Because it's important that you get support so that you can continue the work that you do.
Right.
I agree. Direct investment and direct action investment is clearly, you know, and I know it's coming from everyone, and I'm not talking to white folks necessarily.
Right.
I'm talking to my sisters, I'm talking to my brothers, I'm talking to my Latino sister, I'm talking to my indigenous sister's brother. I mean, you know, when people know me, you'll know that my community is multicultural, actually.
Yes.
I actually don't have a solidly black community.
Right.
You know, I love my solidly black community. I was never raised in one. Everywhere I grew up, Texas, Houston, multicultural.
Right.
You know, Costa Rica, same. Right? Hawaii, all the California, LA, all these places I've lived has been multicultural. Right? And so my closest friends are black, native, and Mexican. Like, you know, they're my closest girls, right? So it's not like this is something that I'm expecting from white people. I'm expecting from the community.
Yeah,
that's the community. All of us.
That's everybody.
That's everyone.
That doesn't single out any race or anything.
No.
That's everybody.
It's everybody. This is a movement to uplift black folks because we have not been in a position that we can be heard in the history of this country.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the white folks, even in the 60s and the civil rights era, even listening to Martin Luther King, they took his message and took what they wanted out of it. There's plenty of coverage of Martin Luther King Jr. talking about some real-ish that was not the soft love Christian stuff that he was talking about. It was the heavy love Christian shit that he was talking about. And they cut that out. You gotta search those speeches out, right? You gotta search those letters out. They took what they wanted from him, and then they killed him. And so there's a thing about this that's about us.
About how MLK photographer that he was a plant the whole time.
Right.
And I was like, people don't know that.
It's heavy. It's
heavy in the fact that the entire system has been made to pretty much assassinate black people.
Right.
And it has, and that needs to be shared as a testament to what we go through as black people.
I think that people need to understand, too, we've always had allies, right?
Yep.
Even through that movement, there's always been, they had to ban interracial marriage because it was happening. You got to understand. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't like it wasn't happening. They didn't do that to prevent it.
Yeah, no,
it was already going on.
It was happening.
So my thing is that, like, exactly with what you're saying, we got to understand that for the first time ever, we got international spotlight. We got the way that the internet works now. This is different.
Yes.
The access to the world and the world seeing what we have gone through and actively participating in it. I got people from the UK, shout out y'all, that are supporting me.
Right.
I've never been to the UK. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people in the UK that are supporting me. Let me put it that way. I have friends who are from the UK, but I have people in the UK who are supporting me here.
Right.
You know, people in South Africa. I've never been to South Africa, supporting me here.
Right.
Right? Canada, you know? Yeah. So what I'm saying is that this platform is a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little different. The actions that we are making are a little different. Yeah. Right? This is a transformational period for the planet.
It is. And
that means that we are all in it together, whether you like it or not. Right?
Yes, we are.
So, y'all, we're going to have MAISIE back. We're going to do this again.
Yes, I'm here for that.
Yeah, right? We're going to do it. Okay, I want to say again, People's Freedom Food Program. Can people donate to you?
Yes.
Okay, money, food, what do you need?
Money.
Money?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are you set up with Venmo? How are you set up?
So, right now, it's just going all to Cash App, like your Venmo currently, until we get enough money to open, like, a bank account and all that type of stuff. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Perfect. Cash App works.
Yes, I love Cash App.
Okay, what is your Cash App handle? Do you have it?
Yes, it is $Mayhem820.
Mayhem?
Mayhem, yes. Yep, because I caused some good trouble.
Right, good.
R.I.P. John Lewis.
Hey, Mayhem, I love this.
Lewis.
I love this.
Mayhem.
Okay, so Mayhem
820.
Okay, $Mayhem 820 on the Cash App.
Yes.
Is how you can donate to you. That takes money directly to the food program.
Yes.
And the food program is People's Freedom Food Program. Keep that out there.
Yes.
Right? And if you want to just donate to the cause, like you're saying, you have body ailments, chronic pain, you know, acupuncture and health care for you is expensive.
Yep.
If you want to help get sis some acupuncture for the chronic pain, you know, some massage, it's actually something that she needs through her entire life to function every day with your son and with everything that you're doing.
Yep.
So throw a couple $5 at it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's right?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So, and we are going to start you a Patreon. We're going to start it up because I think that 4 people and 30 families that are growing, you know, you need some financial assistance to get it flowing.
Yes,
so we're going to set that up for you.
Yes, we do.
And I think that's it. Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Thank you so much for just having me on. I'm so glad that we were finally able just to connect.
Girl, okay, so you know I'm into astrology. So I need to know your birthday after this.
Okay, let's go.
Do you know what time you were born?
I don't know the time.
Dang! We gotta figure that out. Because every people who come across your life, it's for a reason. People say that you have soulmates, but I don't think people quite understand when you start to learn deeply about spiritual work, that anyone you come across is technically a soulmate.
That's
you
true.
actually are connected with energy. So we have so many things that are kind of like, and even our words, like you said, I'm like, girl, I just wrote that in my book. I just wrote it in my book.
I love when that happens.
Right? And I'm like, okay, so I need to know, like, where our intersectionality is as people.
Right.
And I'm just so curious. Yeah. But we got to have your time of birth. We got to figure that out. We'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to say thank you so much. I'm going to end the audio, and then I'm going to go to the visual here, and then we're going to see comments and see if we can go through the comments a little bit.
Answer some comments.
That's right.
Cool.
Okay, thank you guys for coming and listening to the podcast.
Sticking on the comments.
Okay, let me stop that. Okay, that will stop there. And now this, here we are on Facebook still. And, okay, we got Michelle Markstrom watching. Hi, community support. Put your money where your mouth is. Thank you very much. Yes. They only make laws against stuff they don't want happening. Okay? Ain't that the truth? That's Kimberly. Yes. There's already been happening. If you want to know, go. And she gives some information. We're all in this together, aren't we? Annalena, I hope I pronounced that right. It's a beautiful name. Get a Patreon, MAISIE Land. That's Shay. We're gonna do the Patreon. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna hook her up. Mutual aid. That's right. Oop, 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 oop. Closest friends around here have been so hurtful recently. This is La Merga. Yeah, and their non-support of BLM. Isn't that something? We should talk. That's another. I need to jot that down. All the friends we're losing.
And
that's you know,
what we talked about.
Right? Yeah. Direct action. I want MAISIE rooting for everybody, black and disabled shirt. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. She said, look, she'll buy it. She'll buy it.
So let's go. T-shirts. You hear me, Universal? order some t-shirts.
T-shirts, girl, and I'm gonna do a merchandise store from Black Girl. Yes, we can hook that up. Yes, Macy Lynn, you are valuable. The world is so much better because you are in it. Be your authentic self. And then says it's a great school. I don't know which school she's talking about. Sitting on my couch listening to two amazing Black women on their couch. Better than church on Sunday. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Stories connect us, right? Storytelling is so important. You are absolutely right. Y'all should check out Ally 101, specifically thinking the thread for BIPOC.
Yep, I'm already on that. Don't worry.
Okay. And then reach out. Ally 101 can help.
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
I'm struggling. It feels so freeing to say that. People always treat me like I'm so strong too.
Oh.
Yep. And we're struggling out here. I see you, girl. We know. We're out here with you. You don't have time to coddle whiteness. No, we sure don't.
No, we don't.
We sure don't.
No, we don't.
White people benefiting from BLM too? Of course.
Of course they are.
Yes, that's right. Kimberly Access. Yes. Thank you for doing all that you do. You are welcome. This is so important. Thank you. Love you, Macy Lynn. Thank you for the work that you do. And then let's see. And they put, they don't in quotes, exactly. White people don't pull themselves up by the bootstraps because the system works for them. That's exactly right.
Yep.
Let me see. That's me with the schedule. Tata?
Yes,
okay.
Tata, I love you.
Yeah, okay. And then we've got, in Portland, because of COVID and elders, they are doing some car caravan protests. Okay, nice.
Yes, okay, caravan protest, okay.
PDX car caravan protest. That's Amy Fellows. Y'all want to see what that's about?
Hi, Amy, love you.
Yeah, and it says car full of disabled people, and she put a heart.
Yes.
Please share this so it can reach larger audience. That's my sister Naima telling to share our story so they can reach.
Yes.
You know, you guys can just put it on.
Share the feed, yo.
Yeah, you can put it on comments. Like, just drop it in the comment.
Yeah.
Or other people's comments is what I'm saying. I could physically, and he could mentally and emotionally. And then. Yes, cars full of people of disabled. My son and I would be there. Would be so be there. Yep. That's true.
Don't worry, I'm working on it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm witnessing that silences in many hours of videos I am watching from across the country. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I am so sorry you had to suffer that in your childhood. Actually, you know what? That's maybe who I am today.
Facts.
Not that I needed it.
Well, not that I would call it and say, like, not that I needed it.
Right.
I shouldn't have had to be put through that to be this.
Ever.
Like, ever. But it happened, and I can't
here we are.
Deny that. So here I am.
So she says, my sister says my niece, Anna, who is freaking ridiculously incredible. She said Anna was 9 when she was first spit on.
Oh.
Yeah. So you were 6, she was 9, and I was.
So
I guess I was
about
about 9 too.
So I'm gonna say something. So get this: white people's first time is having sex. Black people's first time is
calling the N-word.
Like
being
being racist.
spit on.
Like, and I was like, ain't that some truth?
Isn't that terrible?
Oh, it's so gross.
This is what we have. It's so gross. Naomi Meyer says, we got you, Macy.
Love you, Naomi.
Nobody gets to make Macy a token.
People.
Okay. Oh, snap. All of it.
Yeah.
Yes. Heard. You can do better. Yeah, these are great. All you guys are so on point. Thank you. Black disabled women in the police commission. Yep.
Yes.
We all need that perspective. That's right. Baby Shark. Who's this?
Baby Shark.
He came in there at Baby Shark and did the song. I don't know. You don't. I want to think it's funny, but I'm not really sure.
I'm not
okay. I'm not sure.
7, we're over that.
Okay. Look, I'm not. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. What was that about? Okay. And doing it, young Black kids looking up to you, Macy. Yes. Every single one. Let's see. We had Cody Anderson, rest his soul, Brandon Clark, Jody Wilson's family, and Joe Getman's grandparents. Those are the white folks that we had in our life in Cottage Grove.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And it's true because my friend Joy, she actually didn't live in Cottage Grove. She was someone who would come visit her grandparents.
Right.
And we lived kind of on the same land. Like it was, it was like separated by we lived out in the country. We had like cows and shit. Like we were out in the country, horses. So there was this driveway that split our yards, and her grandma and grandpa, she would come visit them, and we would play and hang out as kids, and we're still friends now. Like she's in Eugene. I haven't seen her since we were kids. But anyway, those are our folks. And Cody Anderson, he passed away. And Brandon Clark was a friend of hers. I had Jeremy Spriggs. We were good friends. Unleash the Queen. Yes. I had to run from Harrison Elementary School to either a safe shop or straight to my friend's house while waiting for basketball. Yeah, she was talking about the things that she had to do in Cottage Grove. It's interesting because even in Cottage Grove right now, we had a conversation the other day. So some Cottage Grove folks who were like, tell me how Trump is racist. Like, I don't see how Trump is racist. And then this one particular friend that I have who was tortured, like actually tortured, living there and then in Cresswell. And she was mixed and presents black. She actually looks very Polynesian to me, but she, for anyone here, you know how it is. If you're brown, if you're not white, you're black, right? So, right? So she,
That's true.
Right? So she, this white woman was telling everyone that how she didn't believe that Trump was racist. And then we were like, hello? Like, yes, let me show you. We don't have to give you the clips of him being racist. Everything he does is racist, right? So she, so this person got on her thread, and because what she did is she went, like, kind of snapped back at her and said, Obama's my president, will always be my president, blah, blah, like that, even though he's had his issues and whatever. So then she came back, and so we started talking about it, and I said, this woman, a black woman who you went to school with, all three of us went to school with, we are telling you that we were targeted, not only by our peers, but by our teachers, by store owners, and you're going to tell me that our experience is invalid? And it literally was yesterday on Facebook.
Wow.
So I just wanted y'all to understand that these people, we're living in two different we're living in proximity to each other in two different realities altogether. What does that say? What does that really say? It says, if y'all want to directly help MAISIE with meal train, childcare, etc., DM me, and that's Tata.
Tata.
We have a schedule ready.
Thank
you, Tata. You're doing a damn thing. As a black woman, oh really?
Yes.
As a black woman raised in Eugene, I can say unequivocally, yes, it affects us. That's right. MAISIE, do you know growing up in a sea of whiteness in the peanut caused identity crisis for you later? She said, do you think? Do you think that it caused an identity crisis for you later?
That's what I'm going through now.
Yeah?
That's literally what I'm going through now is like this prime example. I will give you a really raw example. So the Wednesday night I spoke, I stopped speaking and a black person approached me. And then they told me, you make me proud to be black. The first thing that went through my head, wait, me? No, I'm white.
No way. Did it? Oh, honey.
Baby, because that's literally what I was entrenched with.
Right.
And when I say it like that, that I'm like denying the fact that I'm black because I have like white ideals pounded into my head. And so that for me has just taken a lot of unteaching for me to do. Like I have to unlearn all of that. So I am learning what it's like to be loved by black people. I've never had that before.
That's real talk. And
I've
that's
never
yet
had
another
that
podcast.
Podcast number 7.
Look, you're just going to be here all the month of September.
Yes, I'm going to set up my bed in here.
Okay. Look, that's real talk.
Yeah.
We can actually have a panel of people who were raised by white women and have that conversation of what it feels like to be loved by black people, right? Or to be recognized as black.
Absolutely amazing.
To be recognized as black.
Just to be recognized as black, and then and you'll know what I'm talking about, but like a hug from a black person, it hits different.
Right.
It just hits different.
Yes.
It's like I can breathe.
When I get Patreons or support, like direct support from black people, it feels so good.
It feels like I'm finally being seen that I am black.
Now for me, it's not that I'm being seen that I'm being black, but it feels like I'm representing in a way that we can be heard.
Right.
Now for you to be seen as black, which to me, like we talked about visually, you are black. Like, people look at you and see black.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I've even told people, and my family teases me about this all the time. When I see myself, I see myself much browner than I am. Like, if I were to draw my picture, I'd be much browner.
Wow,
like, I'm like,
okay.
And my family would be like,
wait a minute.
You might want to shade that down a couple 15 shades. And I'm like, no, you know what I'm saying? I see myself blackity black, right? And they're like, no. No. And I see you, and I'm like, really? Yeah. Oh man, like it's another person who's
bizarre. It's so crazy.
Isn't that funny? Our mental, how we project ourselves, our own narrative to ourselves.
Well, yeah. Prime example. Like, we know what pretty black girls look like.
Right.
So from the outside, I've never been classified as a pretty black girl.
Girl, that's because you're talking to white folks.
Exactly. Let's go.
Let's
go. It's because white people tell me.
You're gorgeous.
Oh,
you're just beautiful. Like, for real.
Thank you.
Yeah. When I saw you, I was like, oh, wait a minute. She got makeup on and stuff like that. No, just use yourself. I mean, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I should show you a picture of my niece because y'all are kind of close. But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's the narrative that we've heard.
Yeah, it's a narrative that I've heard.
Yeah.
And then seeing black people growing up in, like, Sir Mix-a-Lot videos.
Right.
And Will Smith and all those things. And I was like, well, I don't look like those black girls, so what black girls do I look like?
Right.
And it's the same thing of being, like, disabled, because for me, with having cerebral palsy, I don't see black people with cerebral palsy. All I have seen are white people.
Right.
So it looks different. So yes, I get excited when I'm on TikTok and I found this girl who's black and she's 29 and she has cerebral palsy like me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, there's another black person, and I've only seen 2 black people.
And I keep saying that's because you're here.
And I'm just like, okay, so I need to see more people with disabilities.
Yes.
I need to see more black people who stutter and how they do it and all these, like, I need to see that.
Do you know how, okay, so let me just tell you.
Let's go.
I actually thought about this. And COVID happened and a lot of personal trauma happened, but I thought about taking girls and boys, just like you, that grew up here, that don't see themselves in anywhere, to, like, go and have a trip across the country.
I'm here for that.
Right?
I'm here.
To a black community. Let's go to a museum.
Yes.
Let's go to the colleges, HBCUs.
Yes.
Let's go to a step show.
Yes.
Let's go see some things that are culturally black.
Right. Or just even, prime example, so I went to Chicago in 2001. And that was for a National Stuttering Association conference. Where first time in my life I was surrounded by black people and I sat in the middle of the street and cried.
Right.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, there's people who are brown like me.
Yeah.
And then I met a friend of mine who was black and stutters too, and I was like, oh, we exist. It's not just me, because living here, it's like I'm the only one who exists here.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like that.
And it feels like that.
That's what I say.
It feels like that.
That's what I say with my black gold kids. Like, trust me, you might not see it here. There's a whole world of you out there.
Right.
Right? There's a whole
world.
The
whole thing is that's what we have been taught, is that white is like superior, aka white supremacy, but when really brown people run the freaking world. Hello.
Right.
Africa, Asia, come on, let's say it. Brown people run the world.
Right.
So I don't want to feel like I'm the only one, but I also want to see I'm not the only one, but in like a different area, like in the South, back East, etc. Because I see black people here, and every black person here is white culture. Like,
white conditioned.
Yeah, completely. And I was like, no, I just want to not be around that conditioned person. Right. Because, I mean, prime example, you're going to laugh at me, but like, when this movement first started, like, I, for the first time in my life, got like the black hug.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, so that's what this feels like.
Oh, dang, girl.
Right, so literally I've not had those experiences.
Yes.
I've not.
So that's why, so you're just affirming for me that I need to do this.
Yes,
program.
and I will go with you.
We're gonna need parents,
yes.
and we're gonna need
Parent
chaperones. We're gonna need the chaperones.
All right, we're talking about comments now.
Girl, look, back to the comment. Look, we
We're
didn't have a
deviating
second. We're gonna have a sec. Like, okay,
Yes.
stages of grief also apply.
Oh,
Yes,
yes, stage of grief is huge.
yes. Let's see here. Her speech that night was amazing. It was the first time anyone mentioned the allies need to do their own work in Eugene. That was Shane. Maisie's activism, caring for people,
Yes.
amazing. Boop.
Boop.
We must have said something, and she's like, boop.
No, it's
shout out to Trey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what.
Yeah,
Okay.
Trey.
She didn't say. Yeah, she didn't say anything
Boop,
else, but
true.
Trey's doing boop. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Love you, Maisie. And then it's just a lot of people who are watching.
Yay.
I Chambers, creating space. Yes.
Yes.
So happy you were on the show, Maisie. Intersectionality is such an important conversation. And so they were cracking up laughing. Something we said. Thank you were doing the show on intersectionality and race and disability. You're welcome. You're excited to see Maisie up there. Get it? This is amazing energy. So happy to see you on the show, Maisie. Is there anything else you want to say about the intersectionality before we get out?
That it's real. Intersectionalities with black people are so real because I embody pretty much every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Right. You were saying you have the verbal?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to just break it down. So, I'm black. I'm a single parent. I'm gay. I have cerebral palsy.
Mm-hmm.
I stutter. I'm chronically ill. I live in chronic pain.
Right.
So, all of those things hit literally every single person.
Right. The intersectionality of what you're talking about is like heavy.
Yeah.
Right.
So heavy.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great news and ended. So needed that Black Gold is working with schools and parents. Really.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. I'm updating curriculum that I wrote like 5 years ago. I'm like doing it differently a little bit. Okay, that's all of that's everything.
Yay!
How do you feel?
So good.
Yes,
So good.
it was amazing.
So good. So
I'm all
good.
like way close up, y'all. Sorry. I'm like trying not to be. Okay, anyway, we are closing it up. If you guys didn't catch the whole show, that's cool. It's going to be recorded. It's going to be on the Facebook page. I'm like, what's it called? The Facebook page. It'll be up there. Share it. We are going to I'm going to hook Maisie up real quick with, we got to get you a Patreon real fast.
Yes.
And look for her program. We had her Cash App. Say the Cash App one more time.
It's $Mayhem820. So MAYHAM 820.
Perfect. All right. You guys heard it here. See you next week. Peace.
Peace.